Steam rolled out of the bathroom like a confession that didn't know how to lie yet. Water dripped from her hair onto the marble, each drop loud enough to count seconds. She didn't turn around. Neither did I blink. I already knew the answer. I just wanted to hear which version of the truth she'd try to sell me. She wrapped the towel tighter, like fabric could shield her from timing. From evidence, from me. How long has what been going on? She asked. I smiled, that was new. Calm does strange things when rage has finished burning and turned into precision. Met her before the promotions, before the boardrooms, before my name started showing up in places people pretended not to read. We built things together, habits, silence, a rhythm. She knew when I needed coffee without asking. I knew when she needed distance without taking it personally. I thought that was intimacy. Turns out it was just rehearsal. We hosted dinners for executives who smiled too hard. She laughed at their jokes. I watched her learn the sound of power before she learned the cost of it. When I became CEO, she became seen. Compliments landed on her like invitations. She accepted them all politely. I trusted her because trust is cheaper than paranoia. I was wrong. Paranoia is expensive. Trust costs everything. The first crack was the calendar. A rescheduled charity gala she insisted on attending alone. The second was the phone she started charging face down. The third was the email she deleted but forgot to empty from trash. I didn't confront. I archived screenshots, metadata, keycards. A hotel invoice routed through a shell account I recognized because I built it. That's when the pain stopped being pain and started being a Project P. I gave myself 30 days. No scenes, no tears, no raised voices. Just quiet work. I hired a private firm that specialized in silence. I set up mirrored access to her cloud. I read messages meant to be erased. I watched affection be scheduled like meetings. Her lover was careful. He was also my CEO. By then, the irony felt almost generous. I didn't rush. Revenge spoils when served hot. I wanted mine plated cold with garnishes. I updated the retirement trust. One, she'd once teased me about for being too cautious. I activated clauses no one ever reads because no one ever expects betrayal to be procedural. Voting rights, contingencies, quiet. Percentages that compound when arrogance spikes. I met with counsel, then with accountants, then with the board individually and formally smiling. I asked questions that sounded like curiosity and landed like warnings. Meanwhile, at home, she kissed my cheek and asked about my day. I told her the truth, just not all of it. The execution began on a Friday afternoon. You're outdated. We're done here, the CEO hissed across the conference table, thinking he was cutting me loose. Understood, I replied quietly. That was the moment the retirement trust activated its voting rights. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? The room folded inward. Legal teams scrambled. Phones rang. The CEO learned what it feels like to be naked in a suit. He was removed before lunch. By dinner, his severance was being renegotiated, down to an apology he couldn't afford. That night, I came home early. She was in the bathroom again. The shower ran longer than usual. Steam once more. History repeating itself like it always does for people who don't notice patterns. As you stepped out, I said, leaning against the door frame. I asked how long it's been going on. She froze. This time she turned around. I laid the folder on the counter. Photos, messages, time-stamped truths. Her breath went shallow. Her knees softened. It's not what you think, she said. I nodded. It never is. I told her about the board, about the trust, about how her lover signed his own exit paperwork thinking he was mine to command. I watched her connect the dots she never thought I'd drawn. She cried. Real tears. Too late to matter. The fallout was surgical. Divorce papers filed with exhibits attached. Prenup enforced with clauses she laughed at when she signed. The house went quiet. Her friends went silent. His name disappeared from headlines in 48 hours. Power doesn't scream when it wins. It whispers and lets the echo do the work. Now, I sit alone in an apartment with glass walls and no ghosts. I replay the moment not for pain, but for clarity. Betrayal doesn't hurt because it's cruel. It hurts because it's careless. I didn't destroy them. I let them trip over the structures they thought were invisible. Justice doesn't need anger. It needs timing. And I've never been late.